Hey everyone. Welcome to ivyandjutecreations. If you're new here, my name is Kim, and I hope you find something you like and decide to stick around with us. Alright, y'all, we're going to take this old galvanized gas can, I'm assuming that's what it is, and we're going to take Waverly chalk paint in the color crimson, along with some painter's tape, and we're going to paint a band around the top and the bottom, drying in between each coat. And I done 3 coats, then I pulled the tape off. Now, because this video is part of a farmhouse playlist, I was going with the rooster, but I just wasn't feeling it, y'all. I wasn't feeling inspired. So, IOD to the rescue. So I took out this IOD transfer booklet called Ephemeral Melange. I hope I'm saying that right. And here I'm struggling with placement. Putting it straight at a diagonal. And then, well, maybe cascading down from the top. Completely upside down. And I chose to stay with it straight. Put me some, I cut some slits in it because we're doing it on a round surface. Excuse me. And then we put painter's tape on the left side to make hinges. And now we're picking it up and cutting that back carrier sheet off. Now, see here how I did not lay the whole transfer completely down at one time? And that's because I'm trying to work it into all those little grooves as I lay it down. It's kind of like how you would like Mod Podge something that's on a different surface. You try to work it down in all them grooves before you completely lay it down, I guess. Alright, so now, y'all wait for it. We're going to remove the hinges. Wait for it. Wait for it. I'm struggling, y'all. Watch. I can see that I've already messed up. Something has happened. Boom. You see how my transfer is still stuck to the back carrier sheet? I don't know how that happened, y'all. If anyone knows what I done wrong, y'all let me know what I did wrong down in the comments. But I'm sitting here and I'm gently working with it, thinking I'm fixing to totally have to scratch this project. But I got it down. Then that little piece, it lined up perfectly. Press it down, and now here. I didn't get this one lined up. And y'all know why? Because remember when I was struggling with placement, I had it straight up and down. If you'll see, I've got quite like a little small, subtle twist. It's not completely up and down. And so that messed me up getting it lined up. But we will fix that in just a minute. And then you're going to rub. Y'all, I'm sorry about all this coughing. And then burnish it with the clear plastic. Burnishing means you're just rubbing it down real good, getting rid of the halo effect around it. Then I'm taking 50-50 water and poly, and I'm spraying it on there and sealing it and hitting it with my heat gun. And then I felt like it was still missing something, so I start adding some red detailing up here on the top of the can. And someone asked me in the comments on another video, does the poly stop up the little spray bottle? And if you would take your fingernail and scrub like the little hole where it comes out, it does dry up there, but just scratch it with your fingernail and then pump it to prime it a couple times and spray it away from your project till you get it good and primed and get it going again. Then lightly mist your project, and that should work. And I got my little bottle from the Dollar Tree. And here, I'm just going around and touching up these edges. Now, we're going to take 50-50 Elmer's glue and water. Maybe just a little bit less than water. But I mixed it up really well. And then I took my chippy brush and stippled it onto the can. And here I'm sprinkling cinnamon. To make us some faux rust. Now here I'm taking and I'm dipping my brush back into the Mod Podge, homemade Mod Podge mixture. And I'm going right back over in the same places that I had sprinkled the cinnamon. And then, y'all, it was a happy accident because I'm dangerous with this heat gun, y'all. But I was sitting there trying to speed up the drying process. And that heat gun kind of like burns the cinnamon and the glue. And it makes the rust look more authentic, if you know what I mean. And who knew that you could distress with a clumpy glue and cinnamon brush. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just rubbing what's left on my brush down into those grooves and stuff. And here's where it didn't line up, y'all. But watch how easy it is to fix. Boom. There it is, and you would never know it. And I hope y'all like it. I love it. Let me know if I went overboard with the rust on the top right there. I love it. It's pretty. Alright, y'all don't forget, I got y'all a coupon code. If you go to cottlegun.com and put in the code ivyandjute, you'll get 10% off of your IOD purchase. This video is also a Farmhouse open collaboration with Amanda from 6 Kids and the Glue Gun, co-host Crafty Hints, Miss Chantel, and Miss Brenda from Rustic and Lace. All these ladies' channels will be linked down in the description box along with the playlist. Now, moving along to the second DIY. We're going to take this Village Market, I do believe that's what it's called, mold from IOD, and we're going to make a casting of the sheet. And y'all see another set of hands. I had an 11-year-old helper with me today on this day. Then we're going to hit it with a heat gun to give it a little crust, demold it, hit it with a heat gun. Now I'm putting a base coat of crinoline DIY paint on it. Now, while that's drying, we're going to take Waverly's paint in the color lavender and a scoop of baking soda. And we're going to take this rusty, crusty paint can. And right here, I'm just trying to get a base coat on it. Then, on the second coat, we're going to stipple it on there to create texture. And so you just stipple for your second coat. Now that our molds is ready, we're going to put some wood glue, super glue on them. And you want to make sure you rub that glue out to your edges. That way, you know, it'll glue down to your project. Then add these to the top. Get them placed just right. And then, so that glue can set up and get a little tacky, we're going to place some painter tape over it. And that just helps it get like a flush contact to your project. And then when it dries, I took the baking soda and paint mixture, the leftover, and there I'm just stippling it down all around the edge of the mold. That way, if you do have any little cracks that's not flush, that baking soda mixture is going to seal it up for you. And so that's what I'm doing here. And then I just went ahead and decided to go over the molds and the molds at the top. Now we're going to take DIY clear wax and we're going to rub it over the molds and the can. And the reason we do clear wax first is so we will have better control over what goes on after the clear wax. In other words, that way you can wipe it back and stuff like that. Now we're going to take DIY white wax. And we're going to rub it into this sheet and the molds at the top. And then I decided the paint can needed some white wax. So I'm going around it and taking what's left on my rag and just going around the whole can. Then that wasn't giving me the feels I needed. So we're going to take DIY dark wax and we're going to rub it over the sheet with a cut up t-shirt. And there I'm just taking a small artist brush and trying to get that dark wax along the edges right there without touching the paint can. Trying to anyhow. Now we're going to wipe it back and take what's left on the white t-shirt, cut up t-shirt, and we're just going to rub it into the rest of the can. Then we're going to take some dark wax and go around the rim. And of course, where the handles is, anywhere it would naturally age is where I'm trying to put the dark wax. And it still wasn't giving me the feels I needed. So now I'm taking the DIY paint color called Crinoline, and I'm dry brushing over my details, my molds. And now I'm liking it. It's starting to come together. So when I used to watch YouTube a lot, I'd hear a lot of people say it's all about the layers. And now I understand. Y'all know I went with the clear wax, the white wax, the dark wax, and then end up dry brushing it with the off-white color. And that finally gave me the feels I was looking for. And so then I put some floral moss in here. And the first lavender bush I put in there I got from Walmart. And then the next 3 lavender bushes I put in there come from the Dollar Tree. And because I'm out of floral moss that I've had for 3 years, I have finally went through it now that I'm actually crafting and not hoarding it. And here she is. And then I decided to go back over and dry brush it a little bit more. And now I love it. And I hope y'all like it too. And I also tied some ribbon and ripped drop cloth on the handle. Alright, y'all, if you'd like to check out the Instagram and TikTok, check those out. And I've got a Buy Me a Coffee link down in the description box. Please know if you'd like to support the channel, but please know it's not required. Alright, y'all. DIY number 3. Look at this rusty, crusty bitty feeder. Y'all know I love rusty, crusty stuff. And this is for my people that, you know, is not so much into IOD. So I actually got one that does not feature IOD in it. But anyhow, we're going to take Waverly's Celery. And we're going to paint this whole thing. But then my mind changes. And I paint the top with Rust-Oleum's white linen chalk paint. And you'll see why in just a second. I'm going to take Tim Holtz with these roses. And we're going to Mod Podge that on the top. Using 50/50 Elmer's glue and water for our homemade DIY Mod Podge solution. Now let's talk while y'all watch me do this part. 2 videos ago, I told y'all that I would like to start something that, you know, just to help us be mindful of the positive things going on in our life, the good things, the happy things. Because it's so easy to get caught up in all the negative things in our life and that's going on in this world that it can actually paralyze you physically, mentally, and spiritually. Ask me how I know. So I would like for us to start being mindful of things that, you know, that makes us happy, this and that. Because I once had gave up hope and laid in the bed, and I was in the bed 24/7 because I had given up. And it's so easy to get your mind focused on all the negative instead of the positive stuff. And so my last video, I didn't forget it. That was a pre-recorded video, so that's why I didn't mention it in the last video. But here we go in this video. Down in the comments, if you don't mind, think of something that you're grateful for, or why you're happy, or, you know, what makes you happy, whatever it is, and let us know down in the comments, and let's start trying to focus on more of the positive things instead of the negative things in our life. And I'm going to start this one off with, I'm happy, thankful, and grateful that all 5 of my adult children are still with me and they're healthy. You let me know what you are happy about. All right, catching up with the DIY, y'all. Y'all seen that I took the lighter and burnt them holes out. And then I went around the edges to make with some more of the Mod Podge solution stuff to make sure those holes was sealed up around with the paper. And now here I'm doing the same thing as I did on the gas can. I done the Mod Podge mixture on there, sprinkled cinnamon. Then I went back on top of the same area, the glue and the cinnamon, with the Mod Podge mixture again, and then hit it with my heat gun to burn that cinnamon and the glue. Once again, it just makes it look more natural or authentic. And then, because if you don't know anything about a bitty feeder, this part that I'm working on now sits on the ground all the time. So we had to add some rusty, crusty goodness back to it too, right? Now, y'all, this thing right here, don't ask that I'm cutting on. Don't ask me what it is. I found it in an Amazon bin that I went shopping at one time. And I just thought, who knows, might be good to craft with. Well, it finally came in handy. And like I said, I'm out of moss. So I cut this bad baby out, put me some hot glue in here, and laid her down, trimmed off the excess that you see poking up right there, put my bitty feeder back together, making sure it's tight fit. And I started playing around with placement, dry fitting flowers. And now I'm going to I liked what I had going on. So now I'm pulling them back out. We putting hot glue on the stems and poking it back down in those little holes. And I'm just adding different random greenery pieces that I have. Some from the Dollar Tree, some from Walmart, some from Hobby Lobby. That one there in particular is from the Dollar Tree. Gonna poke it down in there, let the glue set up. And here I even would go back and add more hot glue down in them little holes. And there I'm just adding a random piece of greenery I had left over to hang down, because this is actually going to hang up on my porch vertically. And then I thought I was through, but it wasn't giving me the feels I was looking for. So I went and dug some of these succulents out of my stash from the Dollar Tree and poked them down in there. And y'all see how that moss, whatever it was I cut up and put in there, it looks like pine straw, but it's not. If y'all knew what that thing was I was cutting up, y'all let me know down in the comments, because I don't have a clue what it was. Then we're going to put another succulent, and here she is. I love it, y'all. I can't choose a favorite. I love them all, and I'm going to have to quit saying that, or quit saying I'm a new crafter, because I'm falling in love with all my projects here lately. And here she is hanging on my porch, my craft shed porch, that is. And here's all 3 of them. I hope y'all enjoy them. I love them, and I hope y'all do too. Thank you all to our new subscribers. I appreciate y'all all from the bottom of my heart. Y'all please do me a solid. Hit the like and subscribe button, and even share the video out. And y'all have a blessed week. Bye.